Today, I'm going to tell you a truth so powerful that it will force you to see the social game with different eyes. But before diving into it, I really ask you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below if you've ever been through a situation like this, and share it with a friend who needs to open their eyes, because this content is ammunition for the male soul, and we're at war. Now let's get straight to the point. The true signs that you are a hated and envied man start silently, almost imperceptibly. And the first of them is the silence that sets in when you enter a room. But it's not just any silence. It's that heavy discomfort where looks are diverted, smiles disappear, and conversations lose their rhythm. This happens because the weak can't stand your presence. They feel, even if they don't admit it, that you carry something that they don't have. Posture, presence, an energy that doesn't bend to please anyone. You are the mirror that reveals the cowardice and mediocrity of others, and that bothers them deeply. They don't hate you for what you do, but for what you represent. Freedom, strength, autonomy. They hate you because you walk around without asking permission, because you look people in the eye without fear, because you don't fit the script of the submissive, needy man lost in search of female approval. When you walk in and the mood changes, don't be alarmed. This is a sign that your presence is dominant, that you carry untamed masculinity, something that the world tries to crush every day, because a man who doesn't bow down is a dangerous man for this system. And when I say system, I'm not just talking about the government. I'm talking about the invisible social machinery set up to produce weak, obedient, emotionally castrated men, hated and envied. That's what you are when you don't need anyone's gaze to know your worth. And the more you evolve, the more envy runs down the eyes of those who never had the courage to become free. Because the freedom of the strong man bothers. The silence of the environment is the nonverbal language of other people's insecurity. And if you pay attention, you notice the details. The limp handshake, the fake smile, the passive-aggressive joke, the attempt to put you down with irony. It's all fear disguised as a joke. And why does this happen? Because weak men need to level everything down to feel less like failures. When you show up as a sign of excellence, without flattering, without begging, without selling yourself for validation, you shine a light on their shadows. And most don't want to improve. They want to pull you down. Hated and envied are the two invisible medals that a real man carries when he starts to stand out. But this requires mental strength, because the weak will try to isolate you, sabotage you, ridicule you. The woman who can't control you will call you arrogant. The men who envy you will accuse you of being arrogant. But all of this is coded language for, I wish I was you, but I don't have the courage. Do you understand that? Do you feel it in the air? Comment here if you've ever walked into a place and noticed the atmosphere change just by your presence. Have you ever felt the weight of the environment trying to neutralize you? Because this is real. And that's exactly when many give up. They start to lower their heads, try to appear less, be humble, seek approval so as not to bother others. And that's exactly when they lose. Because the price of true greatness is loneliness at the top. There is no leadership without rejection. There is no real masculinity without opposition. Your presence has to bother those who live in mediocrity. And if you're still trying to be accepted by everyone, you've already lost. It's time to stop wanting to belong and start becoming. Do you have the courage to sustain the silence that your presence imposes? Do you have the stomach to see the masks fall when you show up? Or do you still need the affection of the weak to feel validated? The choice is yours. But know this. The free man is always hated. And those who observe you in silence the most in truth wish they had your strength. And they don't. And now I'm going to give you the second punch of reality that most men aren't prepared to hear. So first of all, if this content has already made you think, if any part of the video hit you like an arrow in the middle of the chest, like it now, comment below if you've ever experienced this type of situation, and share it with a brother who needs to wake up to reality, because today's topic is not for everyone. Your victory exposes their mediocrity, and it eats them up inside. Do you know why they hate you? Do you know why you bother them so much, even without opening your mouth? Because your success shines a direct light on their internal misery. Every step you take towards your evolution, every inch of progress you achieve with discipline, effort, and silence, is like a blade cutting through the comfortable narrative that these men have built to justify their own cowardice. They said it wasn't possible, that it was impossible, that no one could do it. And then you show up silently, doing it, winning, training, growing, getting the women they idealize, living the freedom they're terrified of achieving. And this destroys their self-image of poor me that they protect so much. Your victory is like a spotlight in the darkness where they hide. And then the discomfort begins. First comes the denial, then the irony, then the sabotage. They will try to ridicule you. They will call your lifestyle selfish, superficial, arrogant, toxic. But behind each word, there is a cry of pain. You're reminding me that I'm weak. Stop it. Because for most of these guys, mediocrity has become their identity. They cling to failure as if it were part of their personality. And when you prove that it is possible to get out of this, that it is possible to improve, that it is possible to win even if you are sabotaged, even if you are betrayed, even if you start from scratch, you take away the last excuse they had to keep crawling. That is why they revolt. That is why they talk badly about you behind your back, try to belittle your achievements, laugh at your goals, disdain your focus. Because deep down, they don't hate you. They hate the reflection of what they could be if they had courage. And this corrodes them inside. And it doesn't stop there. The higher you climb, the more they corrode themselves. Because you show them that the life they have is the result of the choices they made. And no one wants to face the fact that they are living a shitty life because they were too cowardly to change. So they create a character to attack you. They say that you are lucky, that you are a narcissist, that you have no empathy. But deep down, do you know what they want? They want your life, your strength, your freedom. But they don't want to pay the price. They don't want to wake up early, cut out easy pleasures, train when their bodies hurt, study when everyone else is distracted, say no to women who try to control their souls with sex. They want the results, but without the process. And you are living proof that the process works. That's why you became their enemy. They wanted you to fail. They rooted against you in silence. They bet that you would give up. And when they realized that you don't stop, don't bow down, don't ask for permission, that's when they get desperate. Because you can't hide anymore that the difference between you and them is just one: courage. And courage hurts those who live in cowardice. So listen carefully. If your victory has started to drive away friends, generate gossip, attract dirty looks, celebrate. This is a sign that you are rising and they are sinking. And the higher you rise, the louder they will scream. Not because you are the villain, but because you have made it clear that their prison is mental. The success of a strong man is the funeral of the fragile ego of cowards. And the question I ask you now is, will you stop to please those who are afraid of your evolution? Will you step on the brakes to be accepted by those who feed on self-pity? Or will you continue growing, knowing that each achievement of yours is a brutal reminder of what happens when a man wakes up and decides to no longer be a slave to excuses? The choice is yours. But remember, you were born to dominate, not to ask for permission. And the world does not forgive a man who chooses to be weak.